Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this warm June day on the workshop, offshore workshop organized by PGE Polish Energy Group with support from our Danish partner Ørsted. I will have the pleasure to host this meeting for you today. Thank you very much for attending in such large numbers. Please ask questions via chat. To respect your time, we will not read out all the questions live, but they will be published together with answers on our website. A few words on today's agenda. Today's presentations will be started by Deputy President of PGE, Ryszard Wasiłek, President of the Board Wojciech Dąbrowski was supposed to be with us, but he had to attend to other duties. I was asked to say sorry for this change, but we have a due replacement. In the first part of today's workshop, Danish experiences and expectations concerning the development of wind farm developments will be discussed by Rasmus Erbe. In the next panel, President of the Board of PGE Baltica, Monika Morawiecka, will talk about the status of Baltica project, and then a representative of Ørsted will share his experiences concerning cooperation with suppliers. Then we will talk about PGE's purchasing system that will be presented by a Director of Purchasing in PGE, Adam Domański, and to complete today's workshop, Deputy President of PGE Baltica, Krzysztof Fuzowski, will talk about specific requirements for this sector, namely the maritime infrastructure. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome. We have with us Deputy President for Operations, Ryszard Wasiłek in PGE. Polish suppliers' involvement in offshore development is very important for PGE, which is proved by the fact that you are here. So I give the floor to you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first meeting with potential contractors for our major program of offshore construction. Around 460 companies attend this meeting, which proves that there is huge interest in what we are doing and what we are planning to do. We are happy that this is the case because from the very beginning we assumed that local contractors will be very important, and that the PGE is the leader of energy transformation, and we want to be the creator of opportunities for you to participate in this major investment project in the Baltic Sea. We want to create local contracts. We want you to be involved as much as possible, and we also want you to gain competencies to increase this participation like in other European countries. We want in Poland we want you to participate in this project. We want this project to be developing. We want you to be involved. We want Polish economy to be involved as much as possible in offshore contracts, offshore projects. Offshore contracts will be delivered on the tenders, of course, but the possibility to participate, the possibility for you to get involved will be very important for us. Piece of information for you: we will be providing a lot of materials. We'll be sharing our knowledge with you so that you can get ready in advance. Today's online talks with you is our first meeting, and we believe, if pandemic allows, we will organize a large meeting in the National Stadium in the autumn, and then we will get to know each other better directly, and you will get to know what our plans are in conjunction with you. Today we will present our plans to you. I will just say a few words of introduction, and other participants will talk in more detail what we are going to do and with whom we are going to work. The host mentioned that we work with Ørsted. We chose this partner because this is the largest and most experienced partner in the world. We are happy that we are going to work together, and this convinces us that we are on the right track, and that we will not make errors as we go on. And we hope that the involvement of this partner will be such that we will deliver the planned projects in time. What are the potential possibilities? Now, we believe that everything that is going on around the shipping industry, you can have a share of that. Steel structures, preparation of systems and operation. We believe that you may get involved in that. Preparation of steel structures and then maintenance of functioning turbines is another area in which we would like you to get involved. Of course, we must remember about ports. After the construction of offshore infrastructures and land infrastructures, we will need services, we'll need maintenance services, and you can get involved in that as well. Why are all those things so important? It is you who have potential in your companies. If you know what our expectations are, together we will be able to deliver those projects as expected, and we are counting on your participation in delivering of all sorts of materials, cables, on-land infrastructures, connections, power lines. All those projects, you can have a share in all those projects. Of course, design work, legal services, training, all those projects, you can have a share, major share in all those projects. I think what I've covered so far convinces you that you can get involved, and I hope that we can count on your involvement. The potential development of offshore wind farms is huge. Europe has very ambitious plans for energy transformation. Last year, in 2020, 26 billion euros were spent on building offshore wind farms, and this potential is growing every year by about 20-30%. So also Europe develops its wind farms. Right now, it's 116 farms in 12 countries. Poland joins those 14 countries that built their offshore farms. And of course, the leader in this sector is the UK. They are the leader in European wind farming, offshore wind farming, and we will also use the British experience to use the local potential, because this is what happened in the UK. The start was hard, about 20-25% of local companies were involved. It increased in time. Right now it's about 50% of local companies' involvement, and the UK assumes that it will be about 65%. So huge potential for local companies, and right now it is estimated that around 430,000 people are employed in renewable energy, and about 7,000 in offshore alone. So it's a huge potential. We want this potential to increase in Poland, and we want you to have a share in that. As I said, the greatest potential is in the North Sea. The Baltic Sea hasn't been used for wind farming so far, but there is the wind speed is smaller. But on the other hand, we have less waves, we have smaller depths, so there are some advantages. So it is possible to build wind farms in the current conditions in the Baltic Sea. There's huge potential in the Baltic Sea, and I believe that it will be increasing every year. Just to make you aware, PGE in the next few years is planning to spend between 40 to 50 billion zlotys on building offshore wind farms. And this potential stems from our possibilities, but also it's a result of our huge involvement in this sector. You could say that we have a very stable foundation. A few months we've adopted a strategy in which there were two very important points: development of offshore wind farms potential and development of photovoltaic farms potential. We expect 2,500 megawatts, and by 2040 it will be 3,500 megawatts, but I think this will be covered in detail by President Morawiecka later. So what's important from the perspective of any business that decides to get involved in a new project? It's, of course, a stable foundation. As I've mentioned, Europe decided that offshore wind farms will be a major development area, and Poland, adopting the Polish Energy Development Program, also assumed that this development will be stable, and we as PGE want to get involved in that. Later, Poland adopted the Offshore Act. Right now, this act is approved. It's been notified to the EU, and it's another element that ensures stability and ensures development potential. And this makes it clear that over the next few years, this development based on contracts for difference and based on this act will be stable. So I'm saying this to convince you that we are not talking about involvement for a year. We are talking about developments over the decades to come. And if you decide to change your potential, if you will arrive at a situation in which we will have more involvement from your companies into the development of offshore wind farms, the potential, the plans for Polish energy, all of those factors contribute to great development potential. This is just an outline of offshore farming development. I wanted to convince you in my speech that we have stable foundation, we have stable funding. We want your companies to participate, to get a share of the opportunities in the development of offshore wind farming. We want your companies to have a share in those opportunities created by the Baltic Sea and development of offshore wind farming. And we want your share to be comparable in time with that in the UK. And we hope that this is only the first of a series of meetings. I hope that we will keep on meeting in the future. So my speech and the next presentations will convince you how open we want to be for you. We want Polish economy to benefit as much as possible from the development of offshore wind farms. Thank you, President. I hope nobody can have doubt about our role in the process and how important offshore wind farming is, how important it is for PGE.